Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you. Thanks for joining us. We are again broadcasting from the large lobby here at Fairfield Federal. We're in our little nook where they allow us to come each and every week. We appreciate that very much. And the day we're taping here is just a beautiful day, and the clock is ticking. The fair, we had that, and now we're kind of moving into football, and it's kind of the fall coming. So we'll see how all that goes, but we hope for a good week, a good couple weeks, because we've got some events that need some inside or outside help with the weather. And our first one we'll talk about, luckily, is inside, so I don't have to worry so much about that. One of the cool things about doing a show like this is you get to talk to a lot of smaller communities who have wonderful fairs, wonderful events going on, and one of the ones we chat about several times a year is in Millersport Community Theatre. They do such an awesome job up there. We just love talking to them, and today's the day we're going to get to do that again. My guest to my immediate right is Isaac Poe. Isaac is the stage manager up there. Welcome back. We've had you on before.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back. And new to the show, James Hewlett.
Hi there.
How are you?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Yeah, very good.
That's
And
good.
James is a participant in the show, a big participant. So we'll talk about that. But first of all, welcome, gentlemen. And I was looking at, I had a copy of the poster that we looked at. This one we're going to talk about now is called A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, and it's October 18th, 19th, and 20th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm assuming that would be 2 evening shows.
Yes, and then a matinee
7:30?
on Sunday. Yes, 7:30 Friday and Saturday, and then 2 p.m. on Sunday.
And can they still get tickets online and
Absolutely.
all that? Very good. And that's a good way to go right there. So probably a lot less hassle. Just everything's there. Very good. That's excellent. So it's A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. It's Millersport Community Theatre. And it's, again, October 18, 19, and 20. So coming up this weekend. So going to be on us before we know it. And their website is mctohio.com. So you can go there and get your tickets. Got a good website, talk about things past, future. Good place up there. So, James, let's talk to you about this. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. So murder's in the title, so
Yes.
We're guessing that plays a major part of this show.
Yes, it does. So in the show, I play, his name is Monty Navarro, or Monty for short.
Monty.
Yes, he comes from a very poor household, and after a tragedy, he finds out that he is related to a very rich and affluent family. The story then follows him trying to get into that family and eventually murder his way to the inheritance of the family fortune.
I'm going to guess we're with a comedy here.
Oh yes, it's
a black comedy.
It's
perhaps.
like a medium roast comedy.
Okay.
There are murders in the show, but it is
Yeah.
very slapstick in the way that.
But
it
we do it in
handles
such a
those.
humorous way.
Yes,
You'd never know
yeah.
it was really a bad murder. It's
Yeah.
a good murder. Isaac, no, I don't know this. Is this a musical too, or just a play?
Yes, this is a musical.
Oh, so we get to sing and murder people all in one show.
It is very British.
I was going to say with a name like Monty, I
Yes.
thought that, well, Monty, but fun. You're the stage manager up
Yep.
there, so is this a fun one to do from your aspect?
Absolutely. This one has been an absolute blast. There is a lot going on behind the scenes. Part of the
Is that good?
Yes,
Okay,
always.
okay.
Part of the novelty of the show is the entire Dicequith family is played by one person. So they are constantly changing costumes, changing their demeanor, everything about them in between scenes. So constantly making sure they're changed backstage, making sure all of the locations on stage are changed. So lots to do, keeping me busy, but it's always a good
So
time.
one person, that'd be a lot of stress right there on that one person to make these changes within the allotted time.
I think she plays 9 or 10 characters.
Really?
Yes, in the show, making sure costumes are in the right place for when she has to run off stage and get changed really quickly and then run right back on. It's a very hectic process, but Isaac's job is to make sure it all looks smooth on stage.
And I'm sure it does.
An amazing job.
And I'm sure she's worth every penny you're paying her to do all this. If we know anything about community theater, that is a joke.
Yeah.
That is a joke. Now, James, I know you're Monty in this. You're the actor. Probably not your first play you've done.
Oh, no. I went to high school at Lancaster High School.
Okay.
I started theater there with Stephen Matthias, and just kind of got bit by the acting bug. I have been acting ever since then. This season alone, I was SpongeBob earlier in the spring. Took a break for the summer. I needed to rest, but now I'm back, and I'm kind of upset that I wasn't doing any theater during the summer. So.
Now you look back and say, I could have made a better call there because you let one get away.
I could have done something.
Yeah, that's right. So Isaac, stage manager, how many people you got in this show?
I believe, including like our stage crew, we've only got about 15 people total. It's a very small show.
Well, it helps when one person plays 9 or 10 roles.
Absolutely,
that takes down the number.
But yes, it's a much smaller show than like SpongeBob or Sound of Music. We only have an ensemble of about 5 or 6 people, and each ensemble member themselves play 3 or 4 characters throughout the show.
Before James got here, I know you said you wish James would have done more. He could have played several roles too, but he didn't. He was kind of slacked on. I stood up for him, but I know you kind of.
Yeah, we asked him to, but James just refused.
I didn't want to do a costume change. You guys kept trying to make me change costumes. I
want
like
to be
my
Monty,
suit.
and that's all I want to be is Monty. So it's 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's at Millersport Elementary School right up there.
Yep.
As you come in, at least when I come in from Lancaster, it's on the right when we come in there. That's a great place to have this. I'm sure you've got this down pat about how all the nooks and crannies and that whole. There's not much you don't know about, I suspect.
We've done a lot of shows there at this point.
And this is the, and I think James mentioned that your first one was what, SpongeBob of the season, SpongeBob, and then it was The Sound of Music, which you blew off. Okay.
I ran Spotlight for that show,
okay, well,
so I was still involved.
Still make your role bigger than what it was. You blew it off. So, okay, James, you're doing a great job here, but not so much. But you can make up for it here.
Yeah, I can make up for it.
So now we're at the third one of the season. So next year, I guess that would be next year when the new season starts in the spring. I'm not sure.
Yes, we will have
spring, summer, fall. Is that how it kind of works? Okay.
And then we always do a little winter performance at the end of the year. Never a full show. So we're still deciding what that's going to be this year, but. That's generally what our season looks like.
And I don't remember as much. Are all the shows musicals generally, or are some just plays?
Generally musicals. Okay. Plays don't tend to sell as well, so
they like the musicals.
We stick to musicals.
Well, I've been to several of them up there, and they're always so great. They're so much fun to watch. And while we have you folks here, we want to mention the Whetstone family. That's always because I kind of deal with Johanna when we get this all going 2 or 3 times a year, and they are a wonderful family for the community of Millersport and what they've done for community theater.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Joe not only does so much for, Millersport Community Theatre, she has her own theater at the school she works at that she is doing just as much for, if not more. So
I was going to say, just more.
Yeah, the amount of time that she is putting into the theater, the care and attention she's making sure that everything is getting done. Her husband Brent building sets, and he'll come in, play a role, even if he was planning on taking off his show. He's that kind of person. But just doing so much for building and maintaining Millersport Community Theatre.
I'm sure you echo those sentiments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's lots of times when babies are born, they'll put a football in the crib and say, you're going to grow up to be. Well, I suspect on a Whetstone, maybe with Joanna's recent addition to her family, maybe they put a production book or a song book in there, because you're going to be in theaters when you get older, and that's just the way it is for a Whetstone, because they really have driven this for a lot of years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're a fun family, so we want to say hi to them and thank you for just being involved in doing that.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Brent.
Good vibes. He blew off the summer, but now he's picking up.
But now he's back.
So it's coming up the 18th, 19th, and 20th at the Millersport Elementary School, 7:30 on the 18th and 19th each, and then what did you say, 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock on
2
Sunday.
o'clock on Sunday. And is it intermission or is it straight through? How's this work?
There is an intermission.
Intermission.
Yes.
So it's a little time there to do that, but it's always such a well done. I mean, community theater is that really says what it is, because this is a community that knows what they're doing up there. They put on great shows. The final one of the season, and from what I gather, we can't talk about yet the new season because it's a secret.
That is correct.
And we will honor that with the Whetstone family and with you here. You boys have done well here. So James Hewlett, who is Monty, are you in pretty much every scene about all the time?
I think we counted, and I'm in all but 15 pages of this show. I think there are around 130 pages. So.
Wow. so the young lady that it plays on Annie, she must be in everything, huh?
Yes, pretty much every scene.
Yeah, every scene. Well, Isaac, you need to keep the thing moving there. I know you run a tight ship. You get things going there. Isaac Poe, James Hewlett with us, and they're for the Millersport Community Theatre. And again, it's mctohio.com. Go there. You can get your tickets online. It's coming up this weekend. It's a good website. Tells you what they've done in the past, when you can audition for shows. They just a very good website, very interactive. You can learn a lot by going to mctohio.com. So James and Isaac, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this weekend. You've worked. I didn't ask how long has this been going on. How long you've been meeting to work this? Couple months? I don't know what the length.
It's been a pretty short production process, actually.
Yep.
We started, early September?
I think this show was only about 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, good for you guys for getting it all learned in the music and the play and good that. So get all the stage marks down like that. Very good. Isaac and James, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Sure. We'll be back on Fairfield Today in just a moment.
If you've been thinking about getting a home loan, now is the time. Hi, this is Carrie James from Fairfield Federal. Our experienced lenders are here to help you make your vision a reality. For more than 125 years, we've been helping our community achieve homeownership. Fairfield Federal has convenient online application for your home loan, home equity loan, and home equity line of credit needs. Visit fairfieldfederal.com to get started. Fairfield Federal for checking, savings, and home loans. Data charges may apply, subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402612.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
Fairfield Medical Center is more than a hospital. We're a health system that's been putting people first for more than a century. From the youngest patients to the eldest, our compassionate team of caregivers are here to support you through every season of life. We are healers, cheerleaders, patient advocates, and champions. Your health is our greatest accomplishment, and we are proud to serve you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster. and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back. I want to thank those young men for being on with the Millersport Community Theatre. Just a blast. They do so many great things up there. Thank the Whetstones and Millersport for being such great hosts of that. One of the events we're always so pleased to chat about here each and every year to come back for this is one that's pretty close to my heart, being an old band guy myself, is the Lancaster High School Band of Gold. We've got the director with us, Ben Factor. Ben, welcome.
Thank you. Yep, good to be
Still
here.
director, Band of Gold, what, decade plus?
This is year 11 for me.
Wow, 11 years. So, and you were what, a Baltimore boy? I'm not sure.
I-
Or you were in Baltimore?
I started my teaching career at Liberty Union up
Yes.
in Baltimore. I spent 7 years there and just came down the road.
You look like you just walked out of the high school.
That's good.
I mean,
I appreciate it more now.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Maybe not so much back then,
Yeah.
but so it's the Lancaster High School Band of Gold Invitational. It's coming up this Saturday night. 5 o'clock it begins?
Yeah, that's right. First band performs at 5, and we have bands all the way up through the evening, ending with the Band of Gold at about 9:30 or so.
How many bands are we talking here?
We have 16. We have a full.
Is that average? Or
It's full.
That's
Yeah,
the
so
max?
We're the max right now. So 16, we can't do any more. Some shows are as few as 4 or 5 in the state, but we've been really fortunate the last few years to be filled up every year.
Is that, I mean, I'm sure it's a great field to march on. I'm sure that's a big part of it. You have a great location here. Fulton Field the way that's been handled is just wonderful out there. But this is a good weekend apparently to
Yeah.
have a band show.
It's the whole package. First, it's the last weekend of the competitive season for OMEA, and bands are either wanting to qualify for state finals, get one more chance, or if they already have, they want to perfect the show just a
the
little bit
skills
more
a little.
and get a little bit more commentary, so they're ready for that too. So that's part of it. But the location's great. It's close to Columbus. It's close to southeastern Ohio. We have a lot of bands coming up from that direction. So that's fantastic. And our band boosters have always done a great job, so we have a great reputation too.
So those would be pretty much the people that you would have, be some Columbus people coming down, and then from Hocking County or even maybe Athens or all around Meigs, who knows, but some of them come up.
Yeah, we have a few coming from Central Ohio area, but a lot of the bands come from even as far as Marietta. Really the whole area of that state come up to Lancaster for the show.
So again, this is judging, and help me here on this. So when a band marches, how long is your performance is limited to? What, 15 minutes?
So we have a 15-minute block of time for
Okay.
the performances. And that includes setup, includes warm-up, includes performing the show, and getting off the field.
Now, is that a judgeable thing? Time? If you run too long, that the clock might work against you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So you have to have everything timed pretty carefully. And anymore, with as complicated as some shows get with props and electronics, it can take a little bit of time and practice to make sure that you have that set ready to go. So we practice that a lot, as do a lot of other bands.
Oh, sure. So I was just the things you said there, I can remember, and again, it's been light years since I was involved in the band, but ours were like handwritten. Mr. Teach Out would handwrite things on there. Those days are gone, I'm sure now. Everything has got to be done on computer. I mean, it's so technical anymore.
Yeah, everything's done on computer now, and you can see the animations before you even march it. You can send it to the kids, and it's really helpful. But things have got more complicated, so you kind of need that now when maybe you didn't in the olden days.
And I'd have to think too, for you, it would be such a blessing, because the Band of Gold is certainly a wonderful, always has been a class act here in Lancaster and Fairfield County. We understand that. But for you to have at your disposal many times the percussion outfit for Lancaster gets a lot of recognition, and golly, you guys just do great things together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is Mr. Gherkin still involved in that? Does he still?
He does help with marching band, but during the school day, he's there working with all of our students, 6th through 12. We have a few other folks working with percussion after school and in the evenings, and we have a great team.
Now, when you have judging up there, how many judges, do the same judges do all the shows?
No, at any given weekend, there's multiple shows around the state.
Well, I just mean
Yeah.
here. If you're going to do 15, 16 shows, whatever you have, the same judges judge all 16?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah,
And-
in Lancaster will be the same judges from
And these
beginning
are
to-
people that you know that come in from all around surrounding communities in Lancaster, people that do this probably every weekend.
Yeah, a lot of them are current band directors. We have some retired that once taught, and some that have just been involved with the activity for a long time too. OMEA chooses the judges to come to our show.
Is that how it's done? There's a pool of
There is a
judges,
pool.
and they spread them out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Qualified.
some local, some not?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
We try to keep them as local as possible, just to keep costs down.
Sure,
with,
because you
with
pay
travel.
everything, I'm
we
sure.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is nice to get some folks from around the state, just to get some different perspectives too.
Now, 15 minutes out there, and I'm sure it's not 15 minutes marching because we've already decided that you have to set up, have to get set up, have to get going. So I don't know, 10, 12 minutes. I'm not sure what your actual time would be. Would these would be perhaps halftime shows that you performed in the past?
Yeah, for most competition bands, they'll do a portion at least of their competition show at
Yeah,
halftime,
yeah.
typically, and maybe some variations on there too. For halftime of a football game, you have 10 minutes, and that includes the setup and tear down too. So most bands
at the game.
At the game, exactly.
Oh.
So typically we have to shorten it just a little bit, and we might do the first 3 out of 4 movements for one game. We might do the third and fourth movement at a different game. So the shows do change a little bit from week to week. We might throw something else in there just to change it up. Since it's a football game and get the crowd into it, but changes a little bit.
So this is something you're not uncommon with. You understand the clock's ticking whenever you get out there. Every week it's like that, so this is just another example. We've got to do this.
We're always on the clock, that's for sure. Got to keep on schedule. There's a lot of things going on Fridays and Saturdays.
So when these judges are looking up here at the Band of Gold Invitational, which is coming up this Saturday evening at 5 o'clock out at Fulton Field, what are some of the kind of things these professional judges are looking at with your young people?
Well, each has a different caption. So we have 2 music judges that will be listening to all things music, anything that they can hear,
Okay.
but they're not paying attention to anything visually on the field.
Now, is everybody in the press box?
All the music judges are in the press box, yeah. We have a visual judge that will look at anything from the color guard to the choreography to the marching, anything that they can see on the field they're taking a look at. We have 2 general effect judges that will look at how everything is coordinated together, how the music fits together with anything visually. So they're looking at that. Then we have a percussion judge who is on the field. They can get a better view of everything down on the field. And we have an auxiliary judge that will be up in the press box watching the color guard and giving some feedback.
So that's a full complement of judges, 4?
So we have five main judges that go into an overall rating, and 2 more percussion and auxiliary, so we have 7. And like we already said, we have a timing and penalties person, an 8th person down in the field, making sure that everything's
got a headlinesman, got the clock on.
That's exactly right.
Well, it's interesting. So the competition, what are the levels? I guess superior, would that be the highest level, which of course you get many of those, but is that if you hit superior, are you at the top?
That's right. So there's 5 ratings. OMEA uses a 5 rating system, and each judge will give a score that's correlated to rating, and then those ratings are combined for an overall rating for that band.
Now, it used to be, at least, again, when I was in school, there were 3 classes, AAA, AA, and A, and I'm sure there are classes for bands based on, say, Lancaster, who appears to be a big school around here, but maybe if you go to Cleveland, you're not that big, you're just another band. So are the bands judged against other bands of their size, or is everybody just, you look at the show and it's just everybody's judged against each other, or each one stands alone?
It's a little bit of all those, actually.
Oh.
So, I tell our students we're a lot of times competing against ourselves because we want to get better than the previous week.
Yeah.
So we focus on that, as I think a lot of bands do, focusing on our scores and are we getting better. That's the educational process. But it is a competition. We do compete, and it's nice to win. There's nothing wrong with that. We do have 4 classifications based on school size, like you said: AA, A, B, and C.
Okay, so Lancaster would be AA?
We are AA, that's
Okay.
right.
So no matter how big the schools are, you're in that group?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly
So is there just, when I see Lancaster, congratulate the Lancaster High School Band of Gold, they got a superior rating, and let's say there's 16 schools, so obviously some of those schools, many could have superior ratings.
Yes.
There's no one overall rating?
Correct. So they do, at each competition, name a grand champion, which is the top score of all the bands. But you could have every single band, potentially, theoretically, get that top
superior,
rating
yeah.
if you have quality performances throughout. from beginning to end. It's very possible. Usually that doesn't happen, certainly, but by the end of the season, there's usually a lot of great bands performing at these last few competitions.
Well, again, I've gotten involved a little bit on Facebook, and I see a lot of band stuff here, but we're fortunate enough around Lancaster and Fairfield County, we really have some quality band directors and assistant band directors and young people in bands, because I see a lot of good things from all the bands around here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we like to draw upon those schools and get them in here. We'll have Burn Union participating, Bloom Carroll, Canal Winchester. Those are some of the close bands that we'll have on Saturday.
Well, I was going to say, will they be here
they will
this week? So those will be the Fairfield County bands that'll be here. Well, it's a fun time. Now, if you go out there, what's the cost?
It's $10.
$10.
We recommend getting tickets online if possible. It's a little bit easier, but we do have
And
tickets.
the website is?
It's lancasterbands.com.
Okay.
And if you want to go to the direct link, lancasterbands.com/invitational. And if you go to lancasterbands.com/invitational, ticket information is there. The concession menu is there. The program, free digital program, is on there. So that's kind of one-stop shop.
Now, I know, again, it starts at what, 5 o'clock, I think
5
we
o'clock
determined
is the
that,
first
and
band,
maybe 9 o'clock would be,
A little after 9 o'clock,
Little after
9:30 or
9.
so is the last band. Awards will be about 9:45.
well, there's plenty of parking. If you know where Fulton Field is, we're blessed with a great parking lot there and things going on there. Food out there is available. I know that's a big deal.
We have concessions from our band boosters, and we'll also have a couple vendors too.
And let's give a plug to the band boosters. You all, I think I mentioned before we went on, I saw the bands pulling out. I saw these buses in the evening. I thought, who would have all these buses at Lancaster High School? I thought, oh, I bet it's the band. And then all these vehicles follow with accoutrements and everything that the band needs. Lancaster is blessed with a wonderful booster program.
Without a doubt. And it takes an army to do what we do. It really does. So if you see us traveling and you see us getting off the buses, like you said, we have an entourage that's just helping us get ready. It takes a lot of people.
I'm sure you see where perhaps all schools aren't that blessed. Now, luckily around Fairfield County, bands are a big deal and they take good care, but I'm sure there are places where they look at that and say, man, I wish that was us.
It takes a while to build that up, and
Yes.
we've luckily done that for decades. It's
Yeah.
been good.
And something that we got a couple minutes here, we'll just kind of gloss over this a little, but coming up here in a couple of years, I hear there's a new building going up out there. There's rumors that Lancaster High School is going to be doing something here, but what a fabulous looking building here. And I would say the auditorium, which would be a big part of what you do and things out there, going to have some great band room.
Oh, absolutely. It'll have 2 instrumental music rooms, which would be great. It'll be a game changer for us, for sure, as far as what we can offer to the students and what activities and ensembles can be rehearsing at the same time. We're limited right now due to our building, but we have a lot of plans for the future because of the building.
And I don't know what it looks like now, but I can remember the band room. You had 2 little small rooms in the back of that, and then there was a hallway that led to the hallway and a vocal music on the other side, so the space was limited.
Yes.
And that will change a little bit, huh?
It will. Everything's a little more spread out. We have some more rooms to use for a lot of things, a full hallway of practice rooms, which will be great for the students. So a lot of opportunities. I'm excited about that. It'll be coming soon.
Ben Factor with the Lancaster High School Band of Gold, the director for now, his 11th year it's starting, and be changing schools here. You'll never change, but you'll actually change the location, so that'd be pretty cool. It's great. So it's lancasterbands.com/invitational.
Correct.
Invitational, that's the website. You could get tickets online. I think they would suggest you do that. You don't have to do that, but that'd be an easy way to do it. Get your ticket online. Get out there at 5 o'clock this Saturday night, the Lancaster High School Band of Gold Invitational. 16 schools, 5 to 9, a little bit after 9. It'll be a fun evening. Lancaster, the last band that performs, or it's the host. That's typical.
That's correct.
That's right. So they're the host school, and they run a heck of a band show out here. It's a big deal. So if your kids are in it, or even if they're not, get out there and watch it if you're a band person that likes to see that. So good luck on good weather. I mean, it'd be unfortunate if you had rain because we haven't had it so long. It's no fair if you do it on your weekend. So we hope for good weather for that and another beautiful day. So good luck and get the Band of Gold a good rating there.
Absolutely.
I know you will. Sure. Ben Factor with the Lancaster High School Band of Gold. Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.